Um, hang on a second. Right.
Switched everything what is not needed for me. Yeah, fine. So I'm ready.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
All set.
So, Jason, you as a coach, you will be coaching both of us in this session. So, what specific are the specific points of attention you would like to address in this session?
Specific points. Let's see. Today, I think I would like to focus on maybe on designing actions.
Designing actions, all right.
Not always my strongest competency, especially in the short 20-minute sessions, because we don't always get to them.
yeah, and it's usually at the end of the session. Eh?
Right.
Okay, but let's try and see how that goes. Anything else you want to?
Let's see. Anything else? Maybe creating awareness. So I'm looking at the later competencies today. Last time I practiced, I looked at the early ones. Coaching agreement. This time I'm looking at the later ones. So creating awareness and designing actions.
Okay. So there's I noted for designing actions and creating awareness, as you said, indeed. And how can I be of best help to you to achieve the best performance in these two attention points, Jason?
Tell me what to do. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, how can you help me without telling me what to do? Well, maybe you can help me by just reflecting back what I'm about to say, which is that I'm not very strong in designing actions. I don't always get there. Sometimes I feel like if I get to designing actions, I'm lucky. So I need to find a way to help my client get to that point without doing a poor job in the earlier competencies. I don't want to skip over or rush through the earlier parts. I don't want to fail to listen, but sometimes I listen too much and I never get to actions.
To actions, yeah. Okay. All right. Do I have to ask something to the client? I don't know. So what can we do to make this session to make it most comfortable to you? I will step out video-wise, maybe. And how shall I? How do you want to manage the time?
Well, maybe, let's see, I have 20 minutes from the start. So maybe if you appear after 10 minutes and appear after 15 minutes.
Okay.
If you just turn your screen on and, hold up 10 and then turn your screen and hold up 5, those will be reminders for me to get going.
Okay.
Hopefully there'll be reminders to Pavilas too.
All right.
But that's cheating.
Okay. I guess we are set, and let's start, and then I will come back to you 2 times, and then at the end we'll have a brief feedback session then. Anything specific? Sorry, excuse me. Povilas, anything specific you want to share before we start the session? You are completely up to...
Yeah, I just lived with this question for 5 days, so it's clear for me. I just was waiting for this moment. So
all right.
It's clear for me everything.
Okay, good. Well, guys, I wish you a good session. Then I see you in 10 minutes. Then.
Great.
Great, thanks.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm really excited because you've already said that you have been holding this issue and wanting to talk about it for 5 days. So let's hear it.
So if you don't mind, I will just briefly tell some story from the beginning, and it will be some, maybe for me it also will be some more bigger view of what I am dealing with now.
Sure.
And the situation is about it's about my business. Now I just was wondering to say career or business, but when I am self-employed and I run my own business, so it's nothing about career. It's just about doing. And when you said in the beginning of mentoring, you mentioned about action, so it was like it's about that. And situation is like this. I started some business 5 years ago, and what I see now, it's like running a little bit out of the borders that I am living here in Lithuania. And this business a little bit expand. I can't say that I am not happy about this, but when the expansion came to not just in the around Lithuania, but in this year, exactly this year, when I was first time in the US, I was there 2 times this year, spending some kind of time just in conference, some seminars. And then I decided to go second time and to look how about the business, expanding my business from Lithuania to US. And what I saw that it is really possible, what I saw that it is really good things to do. I mean, not to finish my business in Lithuania, but to start business in the same business in the United States. And I have some results. And it was on October. Yeah, it was on October when I was in traveling from, it was in the east side of United States. And I made some kind of decision, okay, if I will make some kind of sales, I just counted like in boxes. I have my business, it's about some tools. So if I will sell in US 2 boxes of tools, so it is like 50 units, 50. So it will be the sign for me that I have to do business in the United States also. And the deadline was New Year's, the end of this year 2015. And now we have the last day of November, and I reached that goal. It's already sold. So when I was thinking some kind of month and a half ago about if I will sell this kind of quantity of tools in the United States for my partners, for my new clients, for coaches, for psychologists, and so on and so on. So it will be the sign for me that I have to focus a little bit more in the United States. And I did it. And now the issue, so kind of funny to say issue, but the situation is like this, that I am thinking to move to United States for some kind of 2 years or maybe 3 years while my kids are very, very, very little. And the decision is not like just I'm planning to go, but I have family and I have to arrange everything to go not only by myself, but all together. And now we are dealing with this situation at home. Kind of we have a possibility, but I don't know, something is stopping my wife, and in that case, it's stopping in some cases me. Like, I don't know what to do. I have the results. I have these kind of signs, approved signs, but I still have some kind of questions inside that I don't have the answers. So
can I ask a clarifying question? When you say that something is stopping your wife, did you mean that you were going to move your whole family to the United States?
yes.
Aha, okay.
Yes. I already worked on this. Like one option is to go whole family. Another option is to do business from Lithuania, and in that case, I will need to travel a little bit more. So, kind of each 2 months, I have to travel for maybe for 1 week or maybe for 2 weeks. But it is not working for me at all, because when I was in the United States for 3 weeks, so in the second week I was already suffering inside, because I just can't live without family. And it's nothing about just talking Skype and so on and so on. Even my kids didn't want that, because they were also not happy that I am not here with them. And the Skype is not the option for me also. So this kind of 1 week is okay, but 2 weeks or even more, it's really bad.
Uh-huh.
So,
let me see if I understand so far. So you had set a goal that of possibly expanding your business. You started to test out markets in the United States, and you set a marker for yourself that if you sold a certain amount of business that you would expand,
yeah.
and you achieve that goal early. So now you're wondering if you should follow through with your original plan, but that leaves you with a decision, either to have to move the whole family to the United States for 2 years, or to travel back and forth, which you already tried and found that really hard, because it's hard for you to be separate from your family for long periods of time. You said that after 2 weeks you were already suffering, and if you were traveling back and forth over 2 years, you would probably experience more of that. So now it's like you're kind of stuck in between, the decision to move the whole family, to travel back and forth, or to not do it at all. And so, is that what you want to make this this session about, to try to clarify the issues so you can come closer to that decision?
Yes, Jason. Yeah. It's about that. So it's good that you just was mirroring me, and I didn't hear that I already tried it and it was not good. So I just wrote down this one. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did some kind of stuff, but it's not working for me. So in that case,
what would you need to be able to make that decision? How much information or how much insight would you have to know that you were making the right decision?
I already counted. I just talked with some lawyers. I'm just looking for the right one right now, and I'm not putting myself and my family in the situation like we are immigrants. And it was a little bit hard to explain for my friends who are living in the United States, when they were asking, what will you do here? Not kind of what will you do, but what kind of work will you work? You have some kind of job and so on and so on. And I'm explaining them that I'm not going to US just to find some work. I'm going to US to make business. And I am coming as an investor to expand my local business a little bit globally. And it was, by saying that, it was like proud from myself that it's okay. I'm with this challenge, but I counted everything. It's like I have to have 100,000 US dollars to show that I have them. In that case, I do not have this kind of amount. And in other case, my family is a little bit afraid. And for me, it's also not kind of just, if it is like 10 years ago when I was single, I said, okay, let's go, and that's it. Now I have 2 kids, my wife, some business going here, liabilities here, and so on, so on. So this is, I don't know, this little bit stops me, and I don't know what it is.
You know, I think I didn't ask my question clearly or the right way. What I meant to ask was for this session, for our conversation right now, for which I think we only have 10 more minutes. What do you need? What kind of insight or understanding do you need to feel like you are making the right decision? What do you need to know?
I'm just thinking, when I set the goal to sell exact amount of tools till the end of the year, I did this month before. So in that case could be some kind of clear, let's go, let's do it. And when I did this, now it's like, sure, is it okay? I don't know, Jason, it's hard for me just to explain right now from this point of view, but I'm just feeling inside that it's kind of, I'm teasing some kind of my own future, and I'm not happy about this.
Well, I heard you say 2 really important things. The first thing I heard was that you had made a plan, you had made a decision, you had set very clear markers, you hit those markers, and so your head says, you know, let me follow through with my plan. It's a simple decision. I also heard you say that family is very important to you.
Yeah.
And this decision affects family also. It's not just about hitting markers. It's about hitting markers, but also balancing, you know, the importance of family, and the 2 don't necessarily always fit together. You know, the pursuit of business and the ability to keep family close don't always fit. And having to make a choice between the 2 makes you unhappy.
I hear what you're saying. I was coming up with some kind of not kind of new decision, but like an action plan to I don't know, to leave kids to the grandparents for some kind of maybe two days, and then just go a little bit out with my wife and talk about everything, because we are talking, we are always talking, and but you know, it's only in the evening, so there is not enough time. I can say like this, but just to sit and to talk from our hearts what is really important, because I just saw the difference, how it is for me to make business here and how it could be to make business in the United States. So that's why I just want to anyway, decision is to make business with the US partners. That's clear, 100%, and I already doing this. But the question was to move or just to travel. So now it's for me it's a little bit clear. I don't maybe clear arguments Like my heart is telling, just go. Now the brains are telling like, okay, you had these kind of targets, and then you beat them. And it was your decision to like approval for you. So let's face the truth right now, and look what happens. And this is what I think could be a solution, to talk a little bit more with my family.
So, it sounds like what you're saying is this, because since this decision doesn't just affect you, it affects your whole family,
Yeah.
and your wife is the only other member of the family who is really mature enough to, you know, to join you in that decision, that it has to be a joint decision, or maybe it doesn't have to be a joint decision, but if you talk about it, if you talk the decision over together to decide what's going to be best for you as a family, that will, you know, that will give you the best chance of making a decision that is best for everyone. I mean, you said it yourself. You don't have to. This isn't a decision you have to make on your own. You and your wife, you have been talking about it. You will talk about it some more. And it sounds like one idea you came up with was to get some time away from the children to have a lengthy discussion about it with your wife.
Yeah.
How old are your children, by the way?
Two.
2
years and 4 years.
2 years and 4 years. So they're little.
Yeah.
And so having some time away from them, for you and your wife to talk about this decision at length, what do you think that will do?
Just for 2 days, just somewhere out of home area, I mean.
But how do you think that will help bring you to the best conclusion?
I mean that when sometimes we are just doing stuff like this, and we are doing when we have some kind of urgent questions. So we are going out, spending some time just together, and when we know for sure that everything is okay with our kids, with the grandparents, and then we are clarifying everything, like a clearing session for us. So this always helps us. So now I just made some kind of action plan, like to talk and to have 100 grants, 100,000 US dollars. Yes, no. So if after the talking we are saying yes, so just moving to find some money, and the same is about money. So it's just clarifying, and then after that it is like clear, because anything, if it is about business, I'm just what I'm getting right now. And thank you for the mirroring. Some words that I already said, that if we are not moving, I'm making business anyway. So it's just a question of time and the question of actions, how it will be. If we are moving anyway, I am going to expand this business. This is the idea. And when my business is fitting to my inner purpose, so in that case, in both ways I am happy. In both ways I am happy, but just now I just feel just a feel from inside that I think I will be more happy when I will move to US. Not to close everything what I have here. I will leave my business working here and just go to US.
And does that mean go to US with your family at your side?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay. So you feel like you have a clearer picture about what will make you happy in the long run.
Yeah.
To expand to the US and to have your family with you.
Yes.
And okay. So we're getting the 1 minute sign. Anything else we can do to wrap up this session? Did you How would you like to close things? Is that a good place for you to end it, or?
Yeah, it's really good. I'm just make some kind of drawings, like some mind map of what we talked. So I'm really happy now. Now it's how to say, I feel more calm right now, because this question was like without the answer, without the action plan. Now I have kind of two of them. Anyway, I'm doing what I am doing. It's just a question of the way. If with moving altogether, or just with a traveling some periodly.
And you know the way you would like to do it.
Yeah, and I know the way that I would like to do it, of course.
So let's see if you and your wife come to the same conclusion about that. I hope so.
Yeah, me too. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Well done, Pavilas.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Jason.
Okay. Interesting session.
Yeah, that's a big one for 20 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is I have to say that's a more significant issue than my typical coaching session. A decision to expand a business to a new country and to move a whole family. That's it doesn't usually get more involved than that.
Yeah, it's a really important thing. It touches very profoundly. Yeah, I can imagine that. Yeah. So, Povilas, are you back?
Yeah. I'm already in the Triad, not in the coaching session.
Okay, good. So I first ask you some questions, Povilas. What worked well for you?
Just I will have to look at my notes.
Go ahead.
I really liked this part when I heard from the coach that Jason just remind me what kind of decisions I already made, and I just face them and I have the result, because this one is like already, like you're writing your goals and just putting somewhere, and after the year, this one is done, this one is done, this one is done. So now the situation was like already put the goal in the very beginning of October, and now I just remind myself that, hey man, so you said if you do like this, and if it will happen, so this will be the clear mindset for you what to do next. And I was already just kind of, I made the second box and said, it's good, it's fine, but it's nothing about just good, just fine. It's like you hit your goal. So then Jason remind this was exactly what I needed.
Nice. So it helped you step forward in the thinking process.
Yeah. And then after that, the mind map showed. I just draw the mind map, the ways. If yes, what I will do. If no, what I will do. If yes, so in that case, it's like a clear for me. Okay. And I'm very happy about this.
Okay, good. Thank you. Were the situations or things that Jason would have done more or less that would have helped you more or less?
I don't know how it will be like. I'm just really happy that Jason was a client, was a coach, and anyway, I know some kind of his experience. So I just said how it is without any kind of going just around. So it was really good that he didn't propose anything, just mirroring. So as a coach, I know that there's some kind of advices is not good, but as a client, I just want it, or maybe
awesome, yeah.
Yeah. But it really was good. So I just helped me to think a little bit deeper in the process.
Good.
I think that for these 20 minutes, it's more than enough. I'm just wondering what would be if we had an hour, but I'm happy with the solution that I have now, and just inner feeling is really, really nice.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Then to you, Jason, what worked well for you in this session?
Well, for me, I think just taking the time to listen to Pavilas's situation and to to summarize it accurately, I think worked well, because I was able to help him organize his thoughts. He had this clear goal, and he was following it. But then there was some conflict, some indecision, because there was this new variable of family that he that was not part of the original plan. Like that wasn't taken into account in the initial goal setting of the business, but it came up later. He discovered it came up later when he traveled, and so by being able to just reflect this back to him, it helped him see that those two interests were competing in some ways. And so I was just reflecting that back, I think helped him see that. And then again, I think giving him the time, because I was very tempted to go into like a direct feedback mode and say that, but I didn't. Instead, I allowed him to speak, and he came up with his own answers, which was to have more communication, more collaboration with his wife about the decision. That was, to me, that was the designing action, not the decision itself, but an action that would help him get to that decision. And he came up with that because I didn't get in his way. So that's what worked for me. That's about all that worked for me, though. Other than that, I felt a little disorganized.
I don't know, but I come to that maybe a little bit later. I know. So what do you think, Jason, that you may have done a little bit more or less?
Well, I think I could have asked that original question more clearly. I think I asked, my second question was, what do you need to make this decision? And I wasn't clear enough. I needed to be clearer with that question from the start, more explicit, which was, what information do you need to make this decision? Not what resources do you need? How much money do you need? And so that got Pavilas thinking in a different direction, and I had to come back to it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it turned out it was still useful, but what I need to do when I ask questions, I need to be more clear, more explicit about them.
Yeah, right. Well, that's one of the remarks that I noted down also, that when you start repeating, it goes a long way. It's long sentences, and formulating that then in questions maybe sometimes can take a little bit too long. That it can maybe you can lose the client in between there, and that the shorter the questions are, the more powerful they are. Yeah. Okay. Great. So what I noted down, I don't see your face, I'm looking at my document now, is that specifically in creating the awareness, I believe, Jason, that went very well, because you were you were in the beginning certainly clarifying about this move of the family to the States, clarifying to what you hear to Povilas, and also the mirroring you repeated well, sometimes in a long sentence, but I think that was a very positive thing to do. And also there were powerful questions like, what would you need to make that decision? For instance, was a very good, powerful question. And what do you need to know to make that decision or to go further in your thinking? So I believe that with this questioning, that you brought Povilas to new learnings, and I think that's one of the key points in the creation of the awareness is that we create new learnings with the client. So you made him clear that there is choice that to be taken between family and business, that both cannot go together. Was a point of view of your own, which I think is okay. It's kind of the direct communication, which is a good thing to launch, I believe, to make the client think. And it brought Povilas to the point where they had to see the difference in how to make the business here and in the States. So that would be to have an impact of traveling or more or less between his home and the States. So in the designing actions, I think indeed there was maybe not so much room within the 20 minutes, but the drawings that that Povilas was talking about, so where you brought him to the point of doing these mind maps, I believe, and bringing him into the point of the discussion with his wife. So I believe if I look at the different points, then I think it was reasonable. It was a good session, in fact. So the only remark that I had was the long sentences in your questioning when referring and mirroring back to him.
Mm-hmm. So shorter sentences.
Yes.
Yeah.
And a short question makes it the most powerful, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. That's a struggle for me because I always talk too much.
So we have to do something more. How much time do we have? It's at 17 now. It's okay.
Yeah, we got through that pretty quickly. I keep hearing this Damien's voice in my head. Lena's also when they talk about fully exploring the issue, or exploring the issue more deeply. Like what is the issue here in this case, and that's where I think if with more time I might have been able to explore more thoroughly. I mean, I think I understood what the issue what the issue is. I think Povilas understands it too, but it was more unspoken than spoken. I think the issue is it's the deeper issue is how do you balance business goals and keeping family together. That's the deeper issue, and it's a complicated issue.
Absolutely.
And so there was, so I think if, with more time, we might have talked more about that, but I think Povilas, he spoke about it so clearly that to me, I didn't feel it necessary to explore further. You said yourself, like, family is everything to me. And when I was away from them for just 2 weeks, I was suffering. That said it all.
Mm-hmm.
And then the real issue here See, I think to me, what jumped out was when you said, my wife is having, second thoughts about moving. That to me, that was the real issue. Like if she were as willing to relocate as you were, this would be pretty easy, because you would have it all. You would have your family with you, and you would be able to pursue business, and your children are young enough where a move is not going to be that disruptive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's not like they're changing school. It's not like they're in high school and changing high schools, while they're applying for college or something. So when you got back to the issue of, just coming to some kind of terms with your wife about it, that was seemed like that was the best place for you to go. And,
yeah.
And you were already doing that. So, as usual, I didn't have to do much, but just kind of mirror what you were already doing and planning to do more of.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Good. Well, indeed, it was this 20 minutes. It was a challenge to come to creation of awareness, further exploration. That's more in the coaching agreement competence then, I believe, which is very close related, I think, to the creation of awareness. And then, the mirroring, and then coming to actions. It was difficult to find actions, I believe, like we are used to see actions like making lists or whatever or something like that. But I think it went very well. I thought it was a nice coaching session.
Thanks. Yeah. For me, I'm like I said, on the designing actions, I am less ambitious. Like, if you come up with an action of hey, let's have, let's send the kids to their grandparents for a couple of days while we take 2 whole days to talk this out completely. Like that is definitely a strong enough action for me. I don't need, like, I didn't need to look for one beyond that. That to me, that satisfied what what I was hoping that he would get to.
All right.
And you did some more on your own. You did all that mind mapping. You did that on your own.
Yeah, and I just want to add that my friend is saying, like, coaching starts when coaching ends. So kind of session is already over, but right now I just put some insights when you were talking about what worked, what could be in a better way. And what I found out right now, when you mentioned if my wife would be kind of also like 100% sure that we have to move. So from one side, it could be easier. But from other side, I saw that during these 2 months, I did some kind of more than I was doing whole 10 months before about this. So, and it is just because my wife is not sure enough. So
her uncertainty is making you think it through more.
Yeah. But in that way, I didn't count this. But now I just wrote that, hey, I did really good and huge job in these 2 months from October when I visit US second time this year until now. So the results are not coming just like that's it. I have to put some effort from my side, and I did this, and I'm happy that I did this, and it is more than I did before. When I was just my business here, it's good enough.
It's more satisfying too when you have to really, when you have to struggle and think through it more.
Yeah.
And then
there's still some facts that I need to do till the end of the year, because my agreement with myself is not over. So you see.
Oh, that's for next time.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe we can close it and then see each other in 5 minutes or so.
Yeah, let's take a break and we'll see you in class.
And see
Okay,
you.
fine. See
Okay.
you guys. Thank you.
Okay.
Again.
Thanks.
Johan, thank you, Pavilo.
Thanks.